game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm calling you up, I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor, and I need it right away. I'm calling you up, I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice, the
breeze. So I got this two-timing chick who got her revenge from when I was on my two-time tip. And even when I tried to correct it, she couldn't get past how she was disrespected, neglected my effort, a pair with no trust, dirty games and affairs that been tearing us up. If things ain't picture perfect, is it really worth it? I have an idea, but I need to know for certain.
I'm calling you up, I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor, and I need it right away. I'm calling you up, I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice, the breeze
You've probably noticed that although everyone gets older, not everyone develops into an emotionally mature adult. Some people remain on limited levels of emotional maturity, and you can recognize an emotionally immature person by their lack of sensitivity and empathy, which, by the way, they're not aware of. From their perspective, you're the one being too sensitive, and they'll make you feel inadequate and unimportant. They are very self-preoccupied. They always find a way of steering the conversation back to themselves. They are afraid of emotions and getting close to someone. At the same time, they crave attention and praise. They're hyper-focused on everything physical and lack awareness of anything emotional. They don't question themselves, they are inauthentic, and they see the world from a very subjective viewpoint. Meaning if you bring facts to them, they just bounce right off of them. They don't consider facts or other people's perspective. This emotional immaturity makes them incapable of being emotionally responsive to others and establishing a close emotional connection. And if we don't factor this into our relationships with them, we will continue to get hurt by their insensitivity. And yeah, it can be hard to accept the fact that someone isn't emotionally mature enough to reciprocate in certain ways, especially if that person is in some way in a superior position.
The VOR back in the building live on KBLA Talk 1580. We having a great conversation, man, about emotional dysregulation. Emotional dysregulation symptoms, intense emotional reactions compared to the situation that triggered them, not being able to calm down, having negative thoughts, feeling out of control, difficulty coping in a healthy way, severe depression, disordered eating, conflicted personal relationships, feeling confused by emotions, anxiety, substance abuse, self-harm behaviors and thoughts, high risk sexual behaviors, high conflict relationships. This is heavy stuff, right? And you might not see it, until somebody is triggered, right? Until somebody gets triggered. This is heavy. This is heavy. And I ask people all the time, like, if you don't have a grasp on who you are, at least start asking some better questions to the person you're dealing with so you can figure out who they are. Because typically who they are is who you attract. Overly intense emotions, impulsive behavior, lack of emotional awareness, trouble making decisions, inability to manage behaviors, avoids difficult emotions. And then here are the benefits of developing emotional intelligence, right? The thing before was signs of emotional dysregulation. But as a matter of fact, let me get Attila back on before I decompartmentalize that piece. Attila, get back in here and give us your final thought.
I hear you cooking on. I hear you. All right, so real quick, just to kind of tie up what the last lovely lady said on the video about emotional immaturity. So I find that in the times that I have attracted someone who was emotionally immature, I was immature in a different area. So maybe my emotions were high, but maybe I didn't have my mental state all the way together, right? Or my spiritual state was lacking in some kind of way. So it's funny how the Most High works, because things are always going to be kept out of balance. And I think that as much as grace is needed, there's also reality checks and fact checks that are needed as well. And so,
right.
So I'm just going to leave it at that. As much as I'd like to psychoanalyze my partner, I recognize that was the time to actually go inward.
Wow. Well, we love you, and I love your transparency. You call in, you provide topics. You didn't give us this one, but you provide topics, and I just love it when you call in because your insight is golden. Guess what you just did?
I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is in the building because of Attila. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580, Truemonger, Dallas, Texas. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Oh, man, it's a tough one. I don't think a lot of people really take time to think about what this section they put their partner in as far as their emotions go, or themselves. I think because everything, it really starts with self. You got to recognize your own emotional triggers and everything. Ideally, you want to recognize your own before trying to pass judgment on somebody else's. But a lot of times we tend to do things backwards. We want to overanalyze your partner and people around you before looking at yourself. Instead of checking how you respond to certain things, you want to say, oh, they're immature, in which they very well may be. But how do you respond to that? Do you respond with an immature response, or do you respond with a mature one? And
you know what? That's for that question. I don't think it's a choice. I think people respond from where they are. I don't think it's like, let me choose a mature response. Let me choose an immature response. I think for the most part, people respond from where they are. In my opinion. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it makes sense because I consider myself emotionally mature. A lot of people just look at me because I carry myself. I'm somewhat stoic. I'm an observer, so you can't necessarily read my emotions. People always try to assume that they know how I feel or what I'm thinking. I don't usually give it away unless I need to, because I'm too busy observing the people around me so I can know how to act accordingly. But I'm putting people in certain sections just because of their lack of maturity at that particular time. I don't completely dismiss them, but if I notice that it's a pattern and it continues and you don't address it yourself after it's been brought to your attention, and you simply don't care about that, I won't completely cut you off, but I'm just going about my business.
If I see you at the grocery store, I'm gonna say hi. Is that what it is? True.
Maybe. You might get a look, and you might get the deuces, and I'll just keep going. It all depends on my connection with that person.
Right. Yeah,
Well, yeah, because I'm sure I've been put in the emotional code section with some folks because I respond to certain things. Just because I'm not overly emotional, I'm in control of my emotions more often than not. Because I know how I can get when I'm not in control of it, and it's not a good thing, depending on what the situation is.
He said it's not a good thing.
It's not.
Oh, true. Hey, as always, brother, I appreciate your insight. I appreciate your transparency. Thank you so much for calling in. Guess what you just did?
Just brought Dallas in the building.
Dallas, Texas is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, you know the routine. Call me, 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, hey, guess where I'm going? I'm going to San Francisco.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
COVID-19 renter protections are ending for City of Los Angeles tenants. Know your rights and these 3 facts. February 1st is the deadline to pay rental arrears for rent owed from October 1st, 2021 to January 31st, 2023. Residential tenants cannot be evicted without a reason or just cause. You have 5 days to respond to an eviction notice from the court. Learn more at housing.lacity.org. That's housing.lacity.org. Be informed. Be protected. Be at home.
Watch out! You got me!
The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
We're for Washington. We love Febrez's new scent. Refresh and energize.
So much we made a song about it.
Linking social justice and climate justice all year long.
We're unapologetically progressive.
KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Voice of Reason is such a vibe, man. Just take that in. Just float with that. We're live on KBLA Talk 1580. And you know my playlist is absolutely my co-host, man. This is the Responders, First Responders. That's the name of the track, and the group is called Dinner Party. The name of the track is First Responders, man. Such a vibe, man. Especially for tonight's topic because it's heavy. You know, emotions are an integral part of the human experience, shaping our understanding of ourselves and influencing our relationships. However, when emotions remain unchecked and unregulated, they can become the Picasso of our perception, distorting our reality and impacting our interactions with others. Tonight, we tried to delve into the concept of emotional dysregulation, its contributing factors, and its profound effects on self-perception and relationships, drawing parallels between the experience of emotional coloring and the struggles faced by African Americans living in segregation during the 1960s. And we're also adding in, of course, you know, Dr. David R. Hawking's work from his book, Letting Go, you know, The Pathway of Surrender. And yes, man, you can feel isolated and alone when your partner does not know how to regulate their emotions. Emotional intelligence is an integral part of healthy relationships. Emotional intelligence plays a vital role in maintaining healthy relationships. It involves the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our own emotions, as well as empathize with the emotions of our significant other, right? Individuals with high emotional intelligence can navigate conflicts effectively, communicate assertively, and build strong interpersonal connections based on empathy and understanding. And there's some give and take there. You know, relationships are not for the faint of heart. I want you guys to understand that. Let's get my brother in here, Rhett from San Francisco. What up, Rhett?
Brother Zoe, it's been a while since we talked. How you making out, family?
Man, I'm hanging in there, brother. I'm hanging in there. How are you?
Like you, man, I'm hanging in there. I've been listening, though I haven't been calling. I know the other day you said you were going through your own personal hell. And, brother, I am feeling something similar, but I had to call today. One, because we know TGT got back together, so that second album's coming out, and I expect to hear it in the playlist.
And I will get up and walk out of here right now if you mention TGT on this phone call. Don't you do it.
And two, in listening to today's topic, you know, I thought long and hard about the work of Dr. Guy Winch and his book Emotional First Aid, and sort of the parallel between today's topic and the fact that a lot of us were never taught emotional first aid.
Right.
Whereas you get a cut on your arm, you know, you can go to your cabinet. There's a medicine cabinet. There's sort of the tangible, but a lot of us don't know how to look inward or what to look for because we've never been taught how to practice emotional first aid until it's late or until it's too late. You know, the same way if you were to break your leg, you wouldn't tell somebody, well, get up and walk it off. So whether you're dealing with loneliness, depression, anxiety, we don't have the tools. Hell, we don't have the tool chest. So I wanted to know what you thought was important for us to take away from this to make it actionable.
Well, number
one,
one,
would love to know your thoughts on that book if you get a chance to read it. I know you're a reader.
Yes, man. Number one, call Dr. Jashana Johnson or Dr. Shalonda, right? Crawford or, you know, Dr. Pecoya McCall. In other words, go get therapy, right? Go do some therapy. But mix that therapy with, you know, some spirit work. You know what I mean? And then surround yourself, try to vet and surround yourself with healthy, grounded people that you can lean on during these, you know, tumultuous times. Again, I've been saying this for a long time, man. Relationships are designed to dress you down, right? We like to get dressed up and go out and look cute, but relationships, it's designed to dress you down. It's designed to undress you, right? All of these protective, you know, mechanisms that we use to cover the truth of who we are. When you get into an intimate relationship, it's going to strip that away. The longer you with somebody, the more you get to know them, the more vulnerable you become, the more exposed you become. And I'm telling you, man, if you're not taking note of how you show up, if you're not taking note of what's being exposed, you're actually missing the purpose of why you're in the relationship. These things are being exposed not for your partner to take advantage of. They're being exposed so you can see them and heal them. Do you see? That's the purpose of their revelation. Yes, your partner gets to see it, but it's really for you to see and correct. But many people don't think that there's anything wrong with them. So self-correction, you know, is like an attack. You know what I mean? But listen, brother, I appreciate you calling. We at the end. You got to call earlier, man, so I could get in and talk to you for a while. But let me just say this. Do not mention TGT in your next call, okay?
Don't worry. I won't mention it, brother, but I do need to say Goat James, first in-season tournament champion, the only NBA champion that has an in-season tournament, most points scored ever, multiple championships. Goat James, LA is so lucky to have him.
You sound like you're not from here. We don't celebrate anything but championships. Kobe Bryant.
There's a banner in Staples Center that says different for crypto.
Oh,
but
Jesus. Thank you, Red.
I like this guy.
Yeah, thank you, Red.
Shout out to the Lions.
Lord have mercy. Let me get my final call in here. JW, South Central. You up against the clock, JW. You got about 20 seconds, bro. Go.
Hey, ain't nothing new. Always summing up at the end anyway, but if you recall any of my subject matters, I always make the reference to emotional maturity and I always equate school in terms of grammar school, junior high, and high school and university. But the main thing I always say, we never was taught emotional maturity. But here's the answer, or my perspective. I believe if you use critical thinking and rationalism and have an open mind instead of having a zero understanding.
Jay, I hate to cut you off. We got 10 seconds, bro. But I appreciate you. Call me tomorrow, and I'll bring you back in so you can finish your thought. You already know. Up next, Jill Monroe. You already know RSVP with Jill Monroe. When we come forward, a new VOR tomorrow.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Maryland Governor